Happy Guy Fawkes Day. Today we're talking about attached properties. And attached properties are actually owned by a parent element but set as attributes in a child element. And it's a case of the child being attached to the parent and also the parent being attached to the child. So two-way communications. And it looks pretty much identical to a property element in that it has a type name, a period, and a property name. But the type name is the type of the parent element. And the attached properties, unlike property elements, can be used and usually are used as attribute syntax. The type name parent is the class that defines the attached property and not the containing object element. In fact, in the case of the code we're actually looking at, we have a number of buttons nested within a grid. So the grid is the parent element, and we have a number of row definitions which are defined as a collection syntax that establishes 5 rows. And the buttons at this point can use an attached property called Grid.Row. And the only reason it can use Grid.Row is because it's nested inside this grid. If I had buttons outside of a grid, Grid.Row would be totally meaningless. IntelliSense wouldn't pop it up, and you couldn't use it for anything. You could probably type it in, but it wouldn't do anything. So this is really a case of setting a value in the parent element that is connected to the child element. In other words, this Grid.Row knows it refers to button 1. So for these 5 rows, we have row 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And within the code, we have grid row equals 0, grid row equals 1, and so on. So this positions the buttons inside the grid. And if we compile and run this, you'll see the buttons are nicely spaced within the grid structure because of the attached property. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot, and I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe.